Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our epic journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the 10th round of the 1969 season, the United States Grand Prix. It was held on the 5th of October, it had 18 entries, 17 of them took part in the race with 11 ending up retiring. The race was held over 108 laps and was completed in 1 hour, 57 minutes and 56 seconds. Rindt started the race from pole with Holm in second, who retired on lap 53 with a faulty gearbox. Stewart was third on the grid, but retired on lap 35 when his engine blew. Hill started from fourth, but retired on lap 90 after suffering an accident. Seifert was fifth on the grid, but retired on lap 5 with a fuel system failure. And Bruce McLaren started the race from sixth, but blew his engine on the opening lap and thus had to retire. After a phenomenal race, Rindt managed to win the US Grand Prix from Courage, who moved up from 9th and crossed the line 46.99 seconds after Rindt. Surtees climbed from 11th to 3rd, he was 2 laps down. Brabham went from 10th to 4th, he was 2 laps down as well. Rodriguez moved up from 12th into 5th, he was 7 laps down. And Moser, who started the race from 17th, rounded off the top 6, he was 10 laps adrift. The fastest man of the race was Rindt, who posted a time of 1 minute 4.34 seconds on lap 69. Welcome to the magnificent Watkins Glen circuit, where a lap starts off with a short sprint into turn 1, a fast right-hander that takes us up the hill through turn 2, a fast left-hander, and then through turn 3 another fast right-hander. This leads on to the longest straight on the track, which ends with turn 4, a medium speed banked right-hander. Next up is turn 5, a fast left-hand sweeper that leads into turn 6, a fast right-hander. This is followed immediately by turn 7, a medium speed left-hander that takes us into turn 8, a slow right-hander that brings us around onto the main straight, and that is a lap around the Watkins Glen circuit. And here we are in qualifying for the US Grand Prix, coming around to set our first qualifying lap, and as you can see, once again at this track there are a bunch of cars right in the middle of the track, making it quite difficult to come out of a turn, the final corner. And here I am coming around to set an improved lap time, a 1:05.905. This is only a few hundredths of a second faster than what I managed to post in previously, so it wasn't all that big of an improvement, and I thought because there were cars right on the racing line that there was no real reason to try and improve on that. But that was a provisional pole. Unfortunately, we will not start from pole because the game decided to troll me by giving the AI random lap times anyway. So anyway, Stewart starting from pole with Higgs in second, third Bruce McLaren, fourth Ickx, fifth is Pierce Courage with Jackie Oliver starting from sixth. Then in seventh we have Denny Holm followed by Jochen Rindt in eighth, ninth is Van Rooyen followed by Joe Seifert in 10th. Then in 11th we have John Miles, and I apologize, this is my fault, I should have put Andretti instead of him, but somehow I missed that. Anyway, in 13th we have John Surtees followed by Chris Amon in 14th, 15th Graham Hill, 16th Pedro Rodriguez, 17th George Eaton for his very first Grand Prix this season, 19th is Silvio Moser, 20th John Love, 21st Vic Alford, 22nd Derek Bell, 23rd LPs, 24th Johnny Servos Gavin, Joe Bonnier is 25th, 26th is Sam Tingle, 27th Peter de Klerk, and 28th is John Corns. So that is the lineup for this year's US Grand Prix. Hopefully we'll do well here today, that will be quite fantastic. Once again I apologize for not having Mario Andretti in this race. He did actually race in real life here. I somehow missed it, but I will put him in for the Mexican Grand Prix instead. So a little bit of difference there. But anyway, we start off and Jackie Ickx immediately pulls in front of us, so we fall down to second. Sorry about that. My brain isn't functioning properly today, I guess. As we come out of turn 3 here, we are about to overtake Jackie Ickx for second. Can we do it? Yes, we can, and we are now in second. Can we overtake Jackie Stewart as well? Can we take the lead of the race? That would be very nice if we could. Anyway, here is a replay of the start. A lot of smoke coming out of my rear wheels, and we saw a car there driving into the hay bales and retiring from the race already as we come up the hill through turn 3 here, trying to overtake Jackie Ickx in the Brabham. And here's a replay of Pierce Courage, who for some reason drives off the track and into those hay bales, loses both of his front wheels and his wing, and that is the end of his race, unfortunately. And here we are coming around to finish lap 1 start lap 2, and we just about overtake Jackie Stewart, so we are now in the lead of the US Grand Prix, doing quite well here. Hopefully we'll be able to keep this lead, hopefully we won't retire, but you know, the race is still long, anything could still happen. There are 37 laps in this race, as we take a look at a replay of Peter de Klerk coming up through turn 2 here, and turn 3, sorry, and his engine bursts into flames, so that is the end of his US Grand Prix already. Moving on to lap 6, now starting lap 7, and we are pulling away from second place Joe Oliver now, as we set the fastest lap of the race. Unfortunately, it is not a new track record. We are in fact almost 5 seconds slower than the fastest lap on this track record on this track. Anyway, we move on to lap 10 now, continuing to pull away from second place, and here is a replay of Chris Amon, who has an engine problem. We see smoke coming out of the rear of that Ferrari. He pulls to the side, and that is the end of his US Grand Prix. Moving on to lap 14 here, continuing to pull away from John Surtees, who is now in second, and is about 30 seconds behind us, as the AI is kind of doing weird stuff. I nearly crashed into them, but thankfully I was able to, you know, pull away from them, as we take a look at a replay of Bruce McLaren, who it looks like is pulling into the pits for whatever reason, and then decides to go back onto the track for whatever reason. So that is him out of the race. Lap 20 now, and we are continuing to pull away from Jackie Oliver. The gap is now 52 seconds, so doing quite well, as we take a look at a replay of George Eaton coming out of turn 3 here. He goes wide, crashes into the fence, loses his front wing and rear front left, and that is the end of his US Grand Prix. Lap 22 now, coming up on some back markers, continuing to pull away from Jackie Oliver. Almost 1 minute gap between the two of us, and here's a replay of Jochen Rindt coming around to start a new lap. He goes wide, crashes into those hay bales, and that is the end of his race. So he's not doing very well here. And there's another car crashing into the hay bales, and that was John Surtees, who is coming around to start his new lap, and well, goes wide, crashes into the hay bales, and that is the end of his race. And we also have a replay of Al Pease coming around to start his new lap, and well, does the exact same thing. So turn 1 there is this race's bad point, I guess, I don't know. And we started lap 23 here. Well, we're towards the end of lap 23. I just managed to lap second place, and here is a replay of Jack Brabham, who loses control of his car coming through turn 7 there, flips his car upside down, and that is the end of his race. Lap 23 now, and Jackie Oliver is still 1 lap behind us, which is very good, obviously, as we're continuing to race towards the end of this Grand Prix. And here's a replay of Joe Sifford coming around to start his new lap. Goes wide, crashes into the hay bales, and that is the end of his race. A lot of people crashing in turn 1 there, not quite sure why, but oh well. Lap 23 now, and we have a replay of Johnny Servoz Gavin, who is coming into turn 4. Apparently he has a problem with his brakes. He has difficulty slowing his car down. Goes wide and ends up between that little hill and the Armco, and he is out of the race as well. Lap 28 now, and we're getting very close to the end of the race. Hopefully we'll be able to keep our lead. Hopefully we will not retire, as we take a look at a replay of Jackie Ickx coming into turn 1 there to start his new lap, and well, does pretty much the same thing as everyone else through there. As I go a little bit wide here on lap 29, catching up to some back markers. Hopefully they'll let us through easily, as we have a replay of Basil van Rooyen, who, well, crashes in turn 1 for whatever reason. I guess, again, I guess that is this race's bad weak point for the AI, I don't know. And we have a replay of John Love coming through turn 4 here. Apparently he has a suspension problem. He pulls to the side of the track, and that is the end of his race. And we have a replay of Jean-Pierre Beltois as well, who is coming into the pits and then decides to come back onto the track, as we now come around to finish lap 37 and win the US Grand Prix. That's absolutely fantastic. That's one more. That's 9 more points in the bag. Jackie Oliver finishes second, Holm third, fourth, Pedro Rodriguez fifth, Joe Bonnier and Derek Bell is sixth. Here are the retirements. Quite a few people retired from this race, unfortunate for them, but very good for us, and we managed to actually win, which is absolutely fantastic. That's one more win towards our goal of 50, and we only have one more chance to actually gain 50 Grand Prix wins, so hopefully we'll be able to win the Mexican Grand Prix as well. But that was a very good US Grand Prix for us, so very happy about that. But anyway, let's move on. And here are the career statistics. This was Andy's 183rd Grand Prix. His best start is from first, has 17 pole positions, has set 34 fastest laps. His best finishes in first, has completed 110 races, 86 of them in the points, has won 49 Grand Prix, 4 at the Indianapolis 500, 6 in Monaco, has 8 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 580 points, has retired 73 times, has experienced 3,801 out of 4,754 laps, has 8 bronze trophies, 17 silver trophies, 49 gold trophies, and as an extension 49 podiums. And here is a quick look at the championship standings. Andy Higgs is still leading the championship, and I think he just won the 1969 Drivers' Championship, so that's fantastic, with Jackie Ickx in second, Stewart third, fourth, Bruce McLaren fifth, Jean-Pierre Beltois 6th, John Surtees. The last person with points is Mario Andretti down in 21st, and bringing up the bottom of the driver standings is Richard Atwood down in 31st. So yeah, by the looks of things, Andy Higgs did in fact win his 9th world title, which is absolutely fantastic, so I'm very happy about that. And we'll have to wait until, you know, the Mexican Grand Prix to receive our championship trophy. Anyway, let's move on to the constructors now, where we have Pete Lovely Volkswagen Incorporated moving back into the lead of the constructor standings, with Brabham Motor Racing Development in second, Matra International third, Owen Racing Organization and Bruce McLaren Motor Racing sharing fourth, Gold Leaf Team Lotus are sixth, the last team with points are Equity Bonnier in 11th, and bringing up the bottom of the constructors are Rec Parnell Racing down in 18th. So that was the US Grand Prix. Once again, a very good result for Andy and for Volkswagen. Hopefully we can continue this all the way into our final race of the season. Obviously, if we win that, we manage to complete our challenge of winning 50 Grand Prix during Andy's career, so that would be quite fantastic if we could. However, since we never won a Mexican Grand Prix, I'm a bit skeptical whether or not we can do it, but I guess we will have to wait and see how things turn out. Obviously, now that we won the Drivers' Championship, we have to try and win the Constructors' Championship as well. That would be quite nice if we could do that. But that is the end of this video. Don't forget to vote for next season's team, and don't forget to vote for a name for Andy's son. Links, as always, are in the description. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.